Okay, having created the Lego char class, we are now going to edit it. So I'll right click in my library the movie clip that I've created, and I'm going to edit that class. I'm going to choose Flash Professional, OK, and this will open a new window, and you will see some similarities to when we worked with the swatch class. So that's something that we're going to bring across straight away, is we're going to bring in the color transform class, because we will be using that at some point. Okay, so we'll need to put in our constructor function, which usually by default it would put in this case it hasn't. So that would go inside of your class. Same name, Lego char. And that's blank. Okay. So what we'll just do is we'll just save as is, and we'll just test this in the main Flash file. Okay, so the actions, I'm just going to add a line underneath. Lines and call it new char, which is going to be a Lego char, and let's just start to type it. It appears in the drop down list, equals new Lego char, it's the first one on the list. Now I'll just add that to the display list, add child, and we'll just test that. And currently we can't actually see the character, but if I just maximise this window, you'll notice it appears at the top of the screen. The reason that is because of where we set the registration point. So if I was to then just give it some properties of X, and then we can move that across a little bit, and also of Y, to make it appear on the screen. A little bit lower down there. There we go, bottom of the screen. So that will do for now, just for testing purposes, so we can see what's going to happen. Now I'll get rid of those properties currently, because we're going to set them up in our class file. So we're going to set some parameters for this when we call the function. So we'll start off with the colours, and we'll go with body, which is of hue integer, and there will be arm call of hue int, and we'll go with leg call, which is just type hue int. And at a later point we will also add the hairstyle, but for now let's just test this. Okay, so we want to access this, which is the instance that has been created, whichever instance that might be, we don't know currently, that's why we're referring to it as this dot, and we'll go with underscore body, underscore inner, to this point here, and we'll just borrow some of the code we've already typed. Take this part here as well. ICT colour to start off with will equal the body colour, because that's what we're trying to change first. We will then change the property of my CT.color to equal arm color, which we're passing in when we create it. At which point we will then change the arm color. Okay. So until it's saying underscore body, say underscore arm. And we'll just copy and paste that again. And make the changes so that we've got legs. And eventually we'll do the waist too. I think we've got enough at this point. And it will be underscore leg. Okay, so we'll save that. And we will then need to, in here, when we create a new Lego car, give it some figures. So let's start with 0 times FF 00. Okay, let's go with some random colours. Arm colour 0 times AA966. I'm sure we'll get some hideous colour clashes, and then we'll go 0 times 99FF77. And then let's just test that. And currently we won't be able to see the changes because we've not given it a position that's visible on the screen, so I'll just add that in there now. Y position. Test that again, and there we go. So we've set the colours of certain parts of the body based on some random figures. We could quite easily go into the class file now and just also tell it that the same colour for the waist inner will equal my CT2. Just save that. Gotta save your class file before you try anything. Change nothing. There we go. The waist colours changed. We've got a nice colour there. So moving on, we now would like to add in the hair, which is going to be a little bit more complicated. So we've got hair, which is going to be a type of string. That's now going to become a parameter which is required on creation, and we'll have to have some kind of conditional logic here for the string that's passed. Now with the example that I've created, I've only got 4, so we can quite easily work this with some if statements. So we'll start off with if statements, and we'll maybe look at a different method for large numbers at a later point. So if hair equals, and then whatever is arriving will be in speech marks because that's what a string is. So we'll just go with H1. Copy and paste this 3 more times and change that to H2, H3 and H4, similar to how we've done it before. And in there we can take from the choose hair function and call it. Yeah, that's what we will do. Let's that whole thing. There we go. That should create a new hair 1. We copy and paste it in there and change that to hair 2. Bearing in mind that we'll only do this once when it is created at the start. We don't need to put in the extra code that we put into the main class beforehand, because we won't have any issues with asking for more than one type of hair clip. Try this again. 4. I'll save that, and back to the main file. We'll just also add in another value for the parameters, which you now see says hair string, so it needs to come in speech marks, and we will go with pitch free and test that. Oops, that's broken. Undefined property underscore man. Okay, let's just go through these, debug it. Yes, of course. So we've copied and pasted, everything needs to be this. This dot this. And the current hair, I don't actually need to store that. That will throw an error too. So we'll get rid of that. May throw an error too. Okay, save. And test that again. And just one more undefined property of man, which I've left in there. Yes, at the end. Save that, test that. There we go, we've got the hair added as well. So some slight debugging to do. But we can go and change that to any change that to any value that we've declared. So we go H2, test that. And there we go. Funny hair on top. And I think we'll leave it at that point.